Like, how do you intend to distribute the rest of the XRP then?
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
You can use cross-chain, routers and technology to execute your swap in order to purchase your asset, and that'll be routed to another chain, execute there for the best possible price, least amount of slippage.
Our stablecoin, the ledger that we used for the pilot, we used the XRP ledger, and it was administered by Ripple. They were our research partner for the pilot, so it was decentralized.
And so I think what you're seeing is a new attack vector at the actual code, because I think the government is concerned that if particularly some of the privacy developing code continues.
Furthermore, I did a little prophetic research on XRP, and here's what I found out about it. And so we've said before, you go to XRP, you study it, it's on the World Economic Forum's, top of the food chain for money or coins they want to use. XRP might replace. In other words, it'll be the alternate form of transactions outside of the SWIFT system. So it'll be used. Actually, I added a little bit to my pot.
More demand for treasuries, more use of a digital dollar throughout the system to help better entrench the dollar. It's a win-win situation for America. I think it's a no-brainer.
Know what you hold?
Enjoy the ride, pal.
It's the XRP Army. Total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.5 trillion, up about 6% in the past 24. We got XRP currently in the number 7 spot, right around 50 cents. We got Stellar XLM right around 10 cents. BTC 65,501. We got ETH right around 3,000. We got Flare Networks right around 0.027. Axelar $1.06. We got XDC right around 3 cents. Songbird 007, 008. Stronghold 008, 009. We got Zahal right around 15 cents. Evernote right around 27 cents. We got one from RippleX Dev to pop things off. Brazil's crypto community has key ingredients for success and adoption: regulatory clarity, TradeFi buy-in, developer growth. Ripple is proud to launch the Brazil Fund to foster XRPL innovation in Brazil. Learn more and apply for XRPL grants. We got one from XRP Drops. Former Ripple Miguel Bias points to the possibility that Ripple could become a lender of the last resort.
Like, how do you intend to distribute the rest of the XRP then?
Yeah, no, that's a good question right here. And I don't necessarily know that we'll ever distribute all of it. In my mind's eye, there's a possibility where, we end up more of a lending kind of, more of a lender of last resort capacity, maybe. I think that would be a little strange for a software company, and maybe some things would have to change structurally. Maybe we have to have a different organization or something. Who knows, right?
We got one from Andrew X. Ripple's very own Jazzy Coop is a rock star genius. She made a jaw-dropping statement at the Stable Summit about interoperability when it comes to the DEX usage. XRP has all the functionalities of a real-world exchange, plus more.
Arguably, you don't need dozens of DEXs. There are dozens of DEXs on each chain. And as someone was mentioning before, when a new chain starts, that chain now needs a DEX, which doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, if you look at traditional financial markets, there's, 2 major exchanges in the US. There's maybe 10 major exchanges globally. And so why do we have over 60 DEXs in the crypto space? So I think true multi-chain interoperability will allow for specialization. And if you are, let's say, a gamer on Polygon and you need to access a different token in order to make a purchase, you can use cross-chain, routers and technology to execute your swap in order to purchase your asset. And that'll be routed to another chain, execute there for the best possible price, least amount of slippage. And then those funds and your destination token will basically land back in your wallet without the user ever knowing that their trade executed on a different blockchain. So that's the type of kind of user experience improvements that we need to see in the trading realm. And some of the infrastructure, and interoperability players will truly unlock.
We got Chad Steinberger. Ripple is now a complete digital asset custody service. Access the entire digital asset ecosystem, Medico. All medical updates and news for institutional grade custody solutions can now be found at Ripple. This move allows us to better connect with our community and provide even more valuable insights. Thank you for your continued support. We got 707 Crypto Palau stablecoin piloted on the centralized infrastructure, the XRP ledger.
Is our stable coin centralized or decentralized? And the second question, is the U.S. adopting CBDC, and what happens to us in Palau if, Yes, if your question is yes.
Oh,
And if your answer is yes,
the first one was
is our stablecoin
is
centralized
it centralized?
or decentralized?
So our stablecoin, the ledger that we used for the pilot, we used the XRP ledger, and it was administered by Ripple. They were our research partner for the pilot. So it was decentralized, and you want a decentralized infrastructure so that it is possible to hack the blockchain, but you can only hack one part of it. So decentralization provides you that extra integrity and availability in the system where the files aren't just stored, the smart contracts and the records of the transactions aren't just in one place. So if they get hacked, they become useless. Kind of like the cloud backup we used in the Ministry of Finance, where you have the same thing duplicated in thousands of locations. That's where the added security of blockchain technology comes from. And it's all encrypted with the same encryption, and only you have that key through your wallet. So you're the only one who can access your transactions and your records. We did for this pilot, we did use the public ledger. And all that means is that we could see all of the transactions that were happening. And that was valuable to our research because we could tell, we could look at volume, and then we can use that to model anticipated volume if we go into a full production stablecoin. We also were able to see in some instances where people maybe sent money to the wrong wallet, or they forgot their PIN, or they forgot their security words to recover the PIN. We could go in and see what their balance was before they lost access to their stablecoin, freeze that stablecoin, and then reissue them new stablecoin to a new wallet that they were able to access, because it was all just, the stablecoin is just digital. The actual money that was backing the stablecoin was still in the bank account.
All roads lead to the bridge. We got XRP Jobs former U.S. regulation Jason Brett emphasizes that code isn't free speech anymore.
I think what the key challenge here is, we always talk about, code is free speech and you can do what you want with coding. But the government seems to be saying there's limits to that. Yeah. And there's a certain level of responsibility, whether it's BSA AML or whether it's OFAC responsibility. And so I think what you're seeing is a new attack vector at the actual code, because I think the government is concerned that if particularly some of the privacy developing code continues, how will they ever track or be able to keep track of something that might happen? Yep. And they look at that more from the national security level than anything else.
We got one from Bo Polony here. XRP, welcome to the party.
A few pages attached to it, or super small fine print. See, no one reads all the rules because they assume the government's going to take care of you, but the government works for Satan. I'm going to repeat that. Mm-hmm. Especially now we're 50 years into it, the government works for Satan. And it's a demonic money system. And so back to the money system, with a click of a button, you don't need a middleman with blockchain. Well, I did do a little bit more homework on XRP. So good news for you, Nona.
Wait a minute. Breaking news alert. Hang on. Go ahead.
So I did a little homework on XRP. I did a couple, one interview with a guy who's really nice, super nice guy. I did a couple of podcasts with him, or one podcast with a couple of guys that love crypto. And I did a little more homework on XRP. And then furthermore, I did a little prophetic research on XRP. And here's what I found out about it. Like the US dollar. The US dollar started out great at until. There's always that until. Mm-hmm. Right? The US dollar is great because you can go to the bank, you give them a piece of paper, they give a piece of gold back, or you go to the bank, you give them some gold, you give them some paper back so you can transact. See, that's all good. It's good intent. But when Nixon took us off the gold standard, now you got demonic money, and God actually says that. If you go listen to the video, Stairway to Heaven, God actually makes direct reference to going off the gold standard. Okay, so that's when the money became satanic. That's when the money becomes demonic. And so we've said before, you go to XRP, study it, it's on the World Economic Forum's, top of the food chain for money or coins they want to use. So they want to alter, they want to control the system, but the problem they've got is God. God's going to intervene upon the world. And so XRP, and the advantage too, I've always known it's a very, very quick and fast coin. So that's the advantage of it, its speed. But the other thing is when the SWIFT system, this is the prophetic side that I've kind of come to realize. When the SWIFT system goes down, it's going to go down. When the SWIFT system goes down, or no one wants to use it anymore because there's an alternate, you don't have to use a SWIFT anymore. Because the way we transact is about to change forever. And so I truly, I believe my best guess, and I believe after I do my research and looking from the more prophetic side of how this could play out, that XRP might replace. In other words, it'll be the alternate form of transactions outside of the SWIFT system. So it'll be used for high-speed transactions, so people can actually transact. It won't be a store of wealth. It might go up a lot in value, but still, the store of wealth is going to be in Bitcoin and some really some more valued coins. But for transactional instruments, I believe people are going to be using XRP for transactions. So I think what you've been doing and stacking some of that has been good, and I added a little bit to my pot.
Hey, well, I love hearing that, and I have a feeling people are going to clip that little part out and share it all over social media. So that's
Know what you hold? XRP is clearly shaking the system. We got one from Riz XRP. XRP sees 600% surge in inflows amid market uncertainty. Follow the money. Best is still yet to come. Chad Steinberger, day 290. Ripple begins funding innovation on the XRP ledger and EVM sidechain per country. Brazil is the first country that Ripple has chosen to implement its local support strategy. Brazil is also the location of the first live liquidity hub. We got beyond broke. If other countries are diversifying from treasuries, which they are, and at an accelerated rate, stablecoin regulation becomes absolutely imperative to drive demand for them to offset potential issues and stabilize the bond market. For the U.S., stablecoin regulation would embed the U.S. dollar into the global digital economy and create trillions in new demand for U.S. Treasury bonds, bills, and notes.
Sure. I think there's a couple of things Congress could do. They're not, but maybe they'll get something done. I think stablecoin legislation would be a good step in the right direction. That could be helpful. That could be done this year. But I don't see anything other than that on the horizon.
Let's talk about stablecoin, because I've heard you say that actually getting legislation on that could help treasury auctions. And when you said it, I said, what's the connection there? Take our audience through that connection.
Yeah, so stablecoins, which are digital private sector dollar-backed currencies, it's not crypto because it's tethered to the U.S. dollar. They have to have dollar-backed assets. They have to have treasuries or cash to back those stablecoins. There's not a law that governs these right now, so they aren't really deployed. But if you actually have a law, which Patrick McHenry and Chair Waters, Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry are putting a deal together. Schumer is in talks with them. I think there's a reasonable chance they could get a deal on stablecoin legislation. That means you have a legal framework in which you have stablecoins deployed. You'd go from a couple $100 billion of stablecoins to, maybe trillions. Right now, stablecoins are like the 16th largest buyer of bonds, bills, and notes among all sovereigns. If you actually regulate stablecoins, have them deployed, that does two things. That gets the U.S. dollar more deeply ingrained in the oncoming digitization of currencies. That's a good thing. And you create new consumers' demand for our bonds because they have to have those to back up the stablecoins. So more demand for treasuries, more use of a digital dollar throughout the system to help better entrench the dollar. It's a win-win situation for America. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic Congress might do that this year still. There are good talks happening. And that's one thing you could do on the margins to try and, improve demand for our bonds and improve dollar.
XRP stablecoin coming to a ledger near you. We got Stuart Alderati looking forward to speaking at SOU 2024 in Florence next week. Check out the program and catch the live streaming here. 2024 program, State of the Union. Blockchain regulation by rules or enforcement. Stuart Alderati. At Edo Farina, the value of cross-border payments is expected to reach $250 trillion by 2027. The shift is already well underway. More than 80% of the global finance leaders expect to begin using crypto in their businesses in the next 3 years. We got one from Stellar Org, celebrating 5 years since the last network halt. 2019, a toast to continued uptime, smooth operations. We got one from Ali Charts. Ripple whales have bought over 110 million XRP in the past 2 weeks, totaling around 55 million. And we got one from Crypto's TA 4-hour update structure playing out. XRP looking good on the 4-hour. With that being said, Batman and Bag Ladies, let a friend know that the greatest opportunity of multiple lifetimes is still at hand. With the trains left the station, tick tock, where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Later, glitches.
Pump it up, pump it up. Pump it up, gotta pump my bags up. Pump it to the moon, pump my bags up. XRP, pump it to the moon. Pump it up. Pump my bags up. Pump it up. Gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up. Better pump my bags up. Pump it up. XRP to the moon. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up.